Shri Ganesha Sharada Gurubhyo Namaha Agajanana Padmarkam Gajananam Aharnisham Anekadam Tam Bhaktanam Ekadantam Upasmahe. Welcome to all for this session on Ganesha Purana to chapter 67. Since the previous chapter, we are hearing the new story which was told by Narada to Gajanana, in which he was telling the story of Janaka, who had immense wealth and he was donating all his wealth to the people and the needy. And in spite of that, his wealth is not exhausting. And then when Narada told him it is all because of the grace of Gajanana, Janaka, who was having the complete knowledge of the Parabrahma, told him that he is the creator, he is the savior, he is the destroyer of all. Because when he is referring to Parabrahma being pervading everywhere. Even the King Janaka is also an image, a reflection of the same Parabrahma. And with that intention, he was telling that. And at that spot, he was telling that. And then, as Narada narrated this to Gajanana, Gajanana sent Narada to Vaikunta, and then he went to the court of Janaka in the form of a sick brahmin with blood oozing out from many wounds on his body. Though people were running away from him, Janaka welcomed him into his court and took him inside his palace and offered him the delicious food. But then Gajanana, in the form of that Brahmin, ate away everything, leaving not even a single piece of grain in his whole country. But then Janaka had nothing to offer. At that time, the Brahmin got up from Janaka's house and went from house to house begging for the food. And finally, he walked into the house of two Brahmin named Virochana and Trisiras. Kaundinya, who is telling this story, continued, there and that Virochana and Trisiras, their seats was simply the earth. They had nothing to be seated upon. They both had clothes which were like the sky, and being naked, they had absolutely no clothes to cover themselves. They both avoided contact with any of the natural elements. In addition, they only ate food that had not begged. Still, in the form of a Brahmin, he saw that both of them were performing all the rites for the purification of living beings by using water, and that the house was enveloped on all sides by mosquitoes and swarms of flies. He also observed both of them engrossed in him, that is, engrossed in him, worshipping an image of Ganesha with singular devotion, utilizing fresh shoots and flowers, because they were not going out for begging from the people, so they were offering the fresh shoots and the flowers, and they were drinking only the water. Then he said to both of them, O faultless people, listen to what I am going to say. After hearing of the fame of the king of Mithila, I turned up here very hungry and wishing to be filled up. But he did not fill me up because all his grains have been exhausted. Because of this fraudulent activity, my vitality has not been sustained. But if something were given to me, something were to be given in this house, it would make me full. Because he went from house to house begging. Then those couple, Virochana and Trisiras, are the husband and wife. Those couple told him, that very king who did not fill up is a universal monarch, but being poverty stricken, what can we give you to fill you up? Because if Janaka himself cannot satisfy you, then we are poverty stricken couples. How we can fill you up? The ocean is never filled up by countless river waters. So tell us, how can it be filled with a mere drop of water? Because that is all what they are having in their home. Then Gajanana, in the form of that Brahmin, he told them, even a little but given devotedly will give me much satisfaction, but a lot given without devotion by a deceiver will be worthless. Then those two told him, O excellent Brahmin, there is nothing in our house. This is the curse on you. At dawn we collected blades of Durva grass for the worship of Gananatha, and we have worshipped Gananatha with them. But now there is only one piece of Durva grass which is left, because all other Durva grass they had already offered it to Gananatha. So only one small piece of Durva grass is left. Then the Brahmin told them, just one given devotedly will be sufficient. Give it to me. Kaundinya continued the story. After she had heard the statement uttered by him, Virochana, the wife, devoutly gave him one blade of Durva grass, with which the Brahmin finally felt contented. Boiled rice, rice cooked in milk, and many kinds of cooked food, plus all of the many spices which can be licked and sucked, all this then appeared on the blade of Durva grass which Virochana had devoutly offered to Gajanana. So suddenly, in the place of the Durva grass, all these delicious food had appeared. Accepting it, the Brahmin ate it with the greatest delight, and the devoutly offered blade of Durva grass having been eaten, the fire in the Brahmin's belly was instantly appeased, and he became full at that very same moment. Then, after having delightfully embraced Trisiras, the satiated Brahmin abandoned his despicable appearance and manifested himself as Gajanana. He had four arms and lotus eyes. He was resplendent with an elephant's trunk, and in his hands he was holding a lotus, an axe, a garland, and a tusk. He also had a very valuable crown on his head, and he was adorned with radiant earrings and garments of celestial cloth smeared with celestial fragrance. Pleased Gajanana said to both husband and wife, choose a boon immediately, ask for anything in your heart. Then the couple told him, whatever our lives might be, let our devotion to you be rock solid. O God, free us from this ocean of existence which is so difficult to cross. We are both utterly destitute and expect nothing else. Ibhanana. Kaundinya, concluding the story, he said, after he had given ear to their statement, had given his affirmation to it, and had again happily embraced his devotee Trisiras, Gajanana disappeared from there. It is for this reason that I offer, Kaundinya is telling this to Ashraya, that the offering of a single blade of Durva grass is much more important than offering all the delicious food to Gajanana, because he gets satiated by that single piece of Durva grass. So he is telling Ashraya, his wife, it is for this reason that I offer a load of Durva grass, that God did not become full from unlimited eating, but with just a blade of Durva grass he became completely full. What I have just correctly related, Ashraya, is powerful and auspicious. Because of the prosperity derived from offering Durva grass, the hearing of it gives one every wish. Whoever should devoutly hear or tell this traditional legend becomes fulfilled in his wishes, wealth, and sons, and will be happy here and in the next world. And whoever has no desires yet accomplishes devotion towards Gajanana will attain the liberation. This story was originally told by the hosts of Gajanana who brought the aerial vehicle to those yogis in the Ganesha temple. So they were telling this story about the importance of Durva, because by offering the Durva grass, the Chandala woman, the bull, and the donkey had attained the Ganesha Loka. After she had heard this traditional legend, Ashraya had a doubt in her mind, realizing which Kaundinya spoke again. O Ashraya, faultless woman, listen to my speech which will remove this doubt. I know what is in your mind and I am going to speak about it. After you have picked up one blade of Durva grass, go quickly to Indra, then utter your benediction first, and afterwards ask for an amount of gold equivalent in weight to this Durva grass. Once you have received it, bring it here. Neither more nor less should be taken from his cash. O lovely faced woman, thus ends the 67th chapter of Upasana Khanda of the glorious Ganesha Purana, in which we have heard the story that is continued by Kaundinya from the previous chapter. Ganesha, in the form of a old brahmin, being sick with the blood oozing from his body, he went to the court of Janaka begging for the food. Janaka honored him and offered him all kind of delicious food, and he went on eating all the food till the last grain in his country got exhausted. But then Janaka became helpless. Then Ganesha, in the form of Brahmin, he went out begging the people for the food, and finally entered into the house of the two Brahmin couple, Trisira and his wife Virochana, but they had nothing to offer him. And then he told them that he is not satisfied by the food offered by Janaka. They were speechless because they have nothing to offer him. But then Trisiras remembered that they brought some blades of Durva grass in the morning, and most of them they had already offered it to Gajanana, and only one small piece of Durva grass is left. And then that Gajanana, in the form of a Brahmin, asked them to offer it, and when Trilochana, the wife, offered that small piece of Durva grass with a great devotion, Gajanana, in the form of Brahmin, he ate it and he told he is content and he is completely satisfied. That is the speciality of the Durva grass as told by Kaundinya, and Kaundinya says that is the reason why I am offering the Durva grass. But still the wife of Kaundinya, Ashraya, was still having some doubt. So he gave one piece of Durva in her hand and he told her, now you go to Indra and ask him to give a gold equal to this piece of Durva grass, nothing more and nothing less. And then his wife Ashraya, from next chapter, she will set out on a tour in order to see the importance of Durva further. Namaste Sharada Devi Kashmira Puravasini Twamaham Prarthaye Nityam Vidya Danancha Dehime. Goodbye.